Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
NFL! Football!
Did you ever see Terry Tate, Office linebacker?
Yo, I think I did. I think I did once and I didn't understand what it was, so I just forgot about it. But now that you've said that, I remember it now. No, you know how I saw it? My Little Pony.
What?
Yeah, there was like a YouTube poop of Fluttershy doing it.
Oh.
That was where I was at in that time in my life. It was a different time.
Alright. It's a fucking great series of commercials, though.
Can't be doing any of that shit up on this humpy puppy!
You kill the Joe, you make some mo!
That's what it is. That's what he says. Yay.
Break was over 15 minutes ago, Doug!
Oh, you know, it's still my favorite, and it always will be, is Greg Jennings.
Greg Jennings is the fucking best
Greg
thing
Jennings! One of the best safeties in the league!
Oh shit, Darren Sharper, one of the hardest hitting safeties in the league.
Cross the plane!
Touchdown!
Fuck you, Gumby!
Gumby! Oh man, my favorite thing is he shows the end screen and the final score. He won like 43-3.
Yeah, he dominated that.
He made the last touchdown so much more dramatic than it had any business being.
The balance of the entire game lies in this. What was it, a 40-point touchdown?
Let's go into the mind of Greg Jennings.
It's the best. It always will be the best. There's no there's no being better than that.
I got a broken fucking leg.
I carry the whole team on my back, though.
Carry the team on my back, though.
It's the best.
I've had that shit in my head and I've been laughing at it for like 10 years.
It's still good.
It's the best.
Yeah.
And then it turns out Darren Sharper's a piece of shit in real life, so.
Oh wow, what a fucking surprise. I mean, honestly, who in the NFL is like a Bob Ross or like a Mr. Rogers, you know? None of them are, I don't think.
Oh man.
Don't get me wrong, a lot of them are nice. A lot of them are good people. But then there's a louder minority of them who are actual criminals.
Travis Kelce's cool. He does a podcast with his brother.
What's that called?
I don't know.
Well, you shouldn't listen to that anyway. You should listen to the one we do.
This one right now. It's called Bitter Chatter. Hello, welcome to another episode of it. This is the best intro we've ever done. He's bitter, I'm chatter, and I'm struggling. I'm drowning. Help me.
No, die.
Perish.
If you couldn't already tell by the preamble, you're probably thinking, what the fuck are they talking about? This isn't anime, this isn't video games, this isn't even music or other such forms of entertainment.
No, today we're doing something very different from our usual repertoire, and we're going to be talking about sports.
Oh my god, is it like that other podcast?
No, which one?
Fucking Go My Favorite Sports Team, you know the one.
I've never listened to it. I've heard you mention it before.
It's the one that Markiplier has.
Oh, I didn't know Markiplier had a sports podcast.
Yeah, it's Markiplier and his friend Tyler, and they have basically the entire thing is that Mark doesn't know anything about sports, and Tyler knows everything about sports, and they talk about sports every week.
Oh, that's where that clip of him talking about special teams came from. Okay.
Yeah, that was from their NFL primer.
Okay. Well, I guess we're sort of biting that idea this week because...
We're ripping off another idea wholesale. It's what we do best, apparently.
Well, it's a little different because what we're going to be doing today, it's titled NFL lore, but it's not lore in that sense. I'm not going
to be like the Kingdom Hearts episode where it's like, Travis Kelce is a nobody. It's like, what?
So then we have to go back in time to when Travis Kelce was originally created. No.
There's like 6 versions of Patrick Mahomes.
And they all will put ketchup on their steak.
Yeah.
We are going to
I can feel the ketchup on my steak. We have to stop. We have to officially introduce this thing. There is such a thing in life as football. Now,
yes,
depending on where you live, that means two entirely different sports. Because
Yeah, either you live in America and it means the NFL, or you live anywhere else and it means the game where you kick the ball into a big net.
I really hate that this is entirely America's fault, right? We English people, we came up with the language. We decided what words meant, and then
Here we go.
America was just like, nah, you know what? This already established word that means something, it means something entirely different, and there's no distinction between the two as to what one you're talking about. So you have to
don't
put
gotta
either
get over that
American
shit.
or European or Australian in front of these words so that you actually know what we're talking about. It happens with football. It happens with muffins. It's the same thing, basically. But yeah, we're talking about American football. American football! The NFL!
American football,
the
American
National
muffins.
Football League. And American muffins play a part in that, apparently.
Yes, they throw the muffins at the referees when they don't like the call.
Yo, muffin ball? We should make a
So,
sport. Muffin
I'm not
ball.
gonna be going through the history of the sport. I'm just gonna go through each of the 32 NFL teams and give a little preamble on what they've been up to leading up to this season, which the reason we're doing this episode now is because the NFL season just started. We just went through the first week's worth of games. By the time this episode comes out, we'll also have the Thursday night game for week 2, but obviously this is being recorded before that, so we're not going to talk about it. But the NFL season just started. What has every team done to lead up to this moment over the last offseason? And how did it work out for them so far in week 1? Varying results, I'll just say that. So, we're just going to go through this by
Before you
division.
get into it, I feel like we should say, anyone who is, you've probably already stopped listening, like, oh, they're just going to talk about football. I don't know what football is. I don't even know. We're gonna all hold hands together. We're gonna sing Kumbaya. We're gonna walk everybody through it, like you don't have to know anything going in. We're just gonna
Because-
explain everything, and it's gonna be fine.
Because here's the situation, right? Even between the two of us, only I really know much about football.
I know the bare minimum, and even then, I'm fuzzy on that. So
I've been slowly integrating Brooks into the world of the NFL for a couple of years now.
we're at that
And-
point where I know the teams, I know where the teams are from, I know important players from a couple of different teams. I have my favorite teams, mostly one, but I have two, I would say. And we're just, it's gonna be like a little introduction, as it were. If you're a scared little weeb who's scared of all of the jocks and everything, let's not be afraid. Let's learn about this shit together, and maybe we can have a few more Chiefs fans coming out of this
I
episode.
was just going to say, two things. One, we're going to try and make this fun. It's not going to be like, so he went for first down, and then he did a run
If
play.
you
he
look at
should've
a
done
football,
pass
it
play.
went from one end of the field to the other end of the field, and I think this guy is the new Jesus Christ, because he threw the ball in such a way.
Mac Jones is the second coming of Tom Brady, and if you disagree, you should...
Who was the first coming of Tom Brady? Tom
to
Brady.
Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah.
And you're right. We should introduce ourselves as football fans first. Brooks, you mentioned you have two favorite teams. You alluded to one as being the Chiefs. You want to tell the world what the other one is?
The Kansas City Chiefs is not my first favorite team.
No.
Weirdly enough. Because my first team, when I got involved with the NFL, was the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Duval.
Jaguars.
The
Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Whatever you want to fucking call them. The fucking team that sucks.
They suck still. Spoiler, they still suck.
The one from Florida, Jacksonville. It was a very odd reason as to why I selected this team as my favorite when we first started watching together.
Yeah, so Brooks had no way of identifying a favorite team. Instead, he latched on to players. How did he make that determination? Based on how funny their name was.
I still do that to this day.
Yes. And the reason the Jacksonville Jaguars were picked is because at the time, their quarterback was named Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles, the boat, the Blakest of all time.
Bortlest of all time.
I have him as a pop vinyl, I'll have you know.
I got that for you.
Yes, you did. I forgot. I don't know why. I thought I bought that, but no, you did.
Yeah, I also got you your Mahomes jersey.
Yeah, because after I learned that the Jaguars kind of suck,
And Bortles was no longer on the team.
and Bortles fucking pieced out as soon as I got involved. Thanks, Blake. Appreciate that. I decided to go for the Kansas City Chiefs. How about them Chiefs?
Now, I don't remember. Why did you pick the Chiefs?
Because of Patrick Mahomes.
What about him did you latch onto? Because his name's not particularly funny, at least not like Blake Bortles.
Well, if he was a real estate agent, he'd be like, Mahomes. But no, Patrick Mahomes is, is he the highest paid athlete in the NFL currently?
He does still hold the highest total contract, but
Something for like $50 million or something crazy.
with all the new quarterback contracts that have been signed since then, I don't know if he's still the highest paid. I don't think he is.
He's very, very, he's got a pedigree. He's very popular. He's very young. He's a young stud.
I think he's like 25.
Quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. There's a few aspects about this man that drew me to him.
One, he
First
puts
of
ketchup
all,
on his steaks.
He loves ketchup.
Mm-hmm.
That's a personality thing that we know about him, is that he fucking adores ketchup. And I'm like, yes, a man of quality. A man of
He
culture.
actually got a partnership with the ketchup brand Hunt's.
Oh, we don't have that here.
Oh, okay. Because he couldn't do Heinz because they already have a deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he got the second. He got the Pepsi of ketchup.
I mean, it's still ketchup.
Yeah,
Some may argue that it's better than Heinz.
maybe.
Hypothetically.
I have no
'cause
fucking
I've not
idea.
heard of it until like 2 seconds ago. But still,
Ketchup all tastes the same to me.
it's all tomatoes and vinegar. But either way, he loves ketchup. And his voice was probably the other thing.
That's right. He's got a. People love to refer to him as Stone Cold Kermit the Frog. He's got a
Stone
very
Cold
particular.
Stephen Austin and Kermit the Frog. If you put them through a voice modulator, it would sound something like this.
Yeah, I have. I've heard it since I was in like 7th grade. So, but it's something that I've kind of embraced. And the guys, Kelsey, Tyreek, and those guys throw some shots at me, but don't worry, I throw shots back.
Isn't that fucking great, ladies and gentlemen?
I do love him. Not only is he extremely fucking talented,
Also, he's
probably-
good as well, I guess.
probably the best quarterback playing right now, other than maybe Tom Brady, because yeah.
Oh, everyone knows Tom Brady. I feel like certain names like transcend the sport.
Yeah.
Like Tom Brady, Madden, Tim
John
Tebow.
Cena.
No, to be fair though, there are certain names in the NFL that have just transcended the sport and have become world recognized names, right?
Oh, I'm sure. I don't know which ones those are because I'm so in the sport that I don't know which ones transcended. But
Well, put it this way: when I was on Twitter and I was like 17, I was like, "Oh, who the fuck is Tim Tebow?"
oh yeah, that was Tebow time.
That was a big one. That was what, like 2012 or something?
Something like that.
That must have been like 10 years ago now.
Yeah, it was definitely a while ago because I remember being in I think either middle school or high school when Tebow time was a thing.
Anyway, we'll talk about Tebow time later, but yeah, certain players, I think the Manning brothers are up there for sure. Peyton and
Probably,
Eli.
yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on who you ask, you might get a different brother, but yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, we already talked about them in our 11 Min episode, if you remember.
That's true.
were
NFL
both in it.
quarterback Peyton Manning. I love Peyton Manning because of his huge fucking forehead.
Has he retired yet?
Peyton? Oh yeah, he's been retired.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, he's definitely retired.
Yeah, now both of them are.
Oh, really? Eli too?
Yeah, a couple years ago Eli retired. Actually,
That
like,
shows what I know, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not
years
at all I'm on the pulse of anything outside of my favorite team, Kansas City Chiefs, who I follow on TikTok, and they give the good content. One thing I will say, NFL content on TikTok, it's fucking good.
If you don't follow, like, the
no
Chiefs-
misses for me lately.
or the Detroit Lions are a good TikTok too.
Oh, can we talk about the lines?
So okay, let's start going through the teams. I have a particular team I want to talk about first.
Well, who are your favorite teams?
We can get the shit out of the way. Oh, right. My favorite team is the New York Giants.
I'm sorry.
They've been dog shit for like 5 or 6 years. We will get to them later because here's hoping that maybe they will be a little bit better this year. So with that being said, I want to just go through the teams division by division. Quick breakdown for anyone who doesn't know. There's 32 teams in the NFL. The NFL is broken up into 2 conferences. So you split those 32 teams in half. You got the NFC and the AFC. Don't ask me what the difference is. It's arbitrary.
The NFC stands for North Field Competitors, and the AFC stands for Also Field Competitors.
That's it. Yep, that's exactly it. And then within each conference, you split those 16 teams up into 4 divisions: North, South, East, and West. Each division obviously has 4 teams in it, and we're going to start with the AFC North. And our first team will be the Cleveland Browns.
What a team to start with, eh?
Yes, I want to get the shit out of the way because
these are the jobbers of the NFL, right? These are the guys who are just like shit and suck and lose all the fucking time.
For a long time, they were the de facto worst team in the league. They had the second ever winless season a few years ago.
Who had the first?
The Detroit Lions.
Wow, yeah, okay.
You know what's funny? The year prior, they lost all but 1 game. And their coach was basically like, well, it can't get any worse. And then they won 0 games.
And then the coach was fired, I assume.
Yes.
Right. I think any fucking coach that leads their team to a 0-win fucking league season, Jesus Christ, how bad can it be? And this isn't like from a wrestling perspective either, where it's like, oh, someone has to lose all the time. Not actually, though.
You could win if you want.
Because it's round robin, right?
What do you mean by round robin?
Round robin, they all take turns facing each other.
Oh, so yeah, the game, at that time, it was 16 games in a season. You face your divisional rivals 2 times each, and then there's other methods to putting the schedule together. But you don't face every team each year, obviously, but you get a variety of opponents. And there's really no reason to ever not win a game in a whole season. I don't understand how that happens. Now that I've said that,
at least one.
Now that I've said that, the Giants will probably have a winless season sometime soon. Not this year.
Hey, you opened the box.
The Cleveland Browns. In fact, the winless season is a good place to start because that is what earned them the number 1 pick in the NFL draft that year. And with that pick, they took quarterback Baker Mayfield. Now,
Baker Mayfield, I know that name.
Yes, especially now you do. Baker Mayfield was a slightly controversial player. He's still around. I don't know why I said was. He's a very bombastic person. He's got a bit of an ego. He's, in wrestling terms, a bit of a heel. But he's a good player. And he helped take the Browns from worst team in the league to, actually, they're not bad now.
But did they make it to the Super Bowl?
No.
Well, they're not that good then, still.
Their first season with him, they won. Well, Super Bowl's a high bar to set.
Well, the thing everyone plays for, the thing everyone
but only
wants.
2 teams make it to the Super Bowl. 2 out of 32
and by
teams.
by that definition, the fucking teams that make it there are the best, right?
Yes, but there's a wide gap between the best and they suck.
There's 32 gaps in between there, ironically.
So, the first season with Baker Mayfield, he was a rookie. There's going to be growing pains. They went like 7-8, or 7-9, I think. But that's way better than they'd done in the last like 5 years before that. So then Baker has a couple of mediocre years, and then in his 3rd year, he takes the Browns to the AFC Championship. That is the game that determines who gets to go to the Super Bowl from the AFC. That is the best the Browns have done in
Ever.
over, I think, since 1999.
Oh, fucking hell, man. Jesus Christ. We really are the worst team.
Well,
Like, objectively.
yeah. Like, not even a question.
What's like an anime comparison you can fucking make with this? Because I feel like that'll help our audience
An
relate a
anime
little bit.
comparison to the Cleveland Browns?
Well, who's like a really shit JoJo's character?
That's a good question.
Dyer.
Who?
Dyer.
Oh, Dyer. Yes.
Yeah. They're
Yes,
Dyer.
actually. There you
Basically.
go. Perfect. You fall for my trap.
They got somewhere. That fucking AFC Championship game was the setup for the Thunder Cross split attack, and then it just didn't fucking work.
Right. They lost that game to the Chiefs. And,
Chiefs!
you know, so Brooks is throwing some big statements out there. In general context, making it to that game, yes, it's disappointing to lose. It's not a bad thing. That's pretty good progress for the Cleveland Browns.
It's good progress, but is it good in comparison to the rest of the contemporaries?
Well, the next season, Baker got injured pretty quickly into the year. His non-throwing shoulder got hurt. Now that sounds like it
what's the
shouldn't.
problem?
It shouldn't. It sounds like it shouldn't affect anything, but it does because there's a whole bunch of mechanics that go into throwing, and even your non-throwing shoulder is important. So Baker was off his game the rest of the year. Now, it's important to note the Browns coaching staff never made a change and just said, yeah, Baker, you can keep going out there if you want. Now, he's a competitive guy. Of course he's going to keep going out there if you let him. You have to not let him. Needless to say,
He's like
because
a
he
child.
was
You have
fucking
to hold his
injured
hand
the
before
whole
he runs out
time.
into the road.
Yeah, because he was fucking injured the whole time. He didn't play very well, and they didn't do very well that year.
How many wins?
You know what? That's a good question. Off the top of my head, I don't know, but it wasn't a lot.
It wasn't a discernible amount. They didn't get to the championships that year.
They did not make the playoffs. So, this is where the last offseason comes in. Over the course of the offseason, the Browns front office, general manager, coaching staff made it seem like, you know what, maybe we're kind of done with Baker Mayfield. I'm sorry, the guy who's given you the most success you've had in the last 20 years, that guy? Okay, just making sure we're on the same page. A leak came out that the Browns front office wanted, quote, an adult at quarterback.
I need an adult. Baker
I'm
Mayfield
sorry,
says,
what?
I am an adult.
Okay, sure.
What does that mean?
Right, exactly. So, who do they go out and get? Because I'll tell you this right now, Baker Mayfield's not the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns anymore. They replaced him with infamous shitbag Deshaun Watson.
Oh my god. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to tell the story of criminal Deshaun Watson.
Literally. So, Deshaun Watson, we're going to skip over to another division real quick and talk about the Houston Texans, because in 2017
That
they
fucking
took...
team name, by the way. What the fuck?
Terrible, but we'll get to them later.
Houston, Texas. What do we call the team name? Texans.
We will get to them later. But they took Deshaun Watson in the 2017 draft as their new young quarterback. And for the first couple of years, it seemed like it was a good idea. He was pretty talented. Wasn't really getting them that far. They would make it into the playoffs, but then they would get knocked out in the first couple of rounds. But it seemed like progress for the Houston Texans. Good idea so far. Then, I think 2 years ago, an allegation came out during a different offseason that maybe Deshaun Watson had done some bad things while getting a massage. And then another one came out saying the same thing at a different time. And then another one. And then another one. And we ended up with a total, I think the final count was 26 allegations that came from 26 different women that Deshaun Watson had sexually assaulted them mid-massage at 26 different occasions.
How many fucking massages does it take?
Dude, if people want to go look up the timeline of this story, it's fucking insane. I'm not going to get into the whole thing here because I don't want to talk about him for any longer than I have to.
26. At what point are these not just accusations? At what point is this just facts now?
Somebody in the NFL subreddit, which of course it's on Reddit, so take it with a grain of salt, but I agree with it. Somebody looked up that the generous rate of false allegations for this type of thing runs at like 10%. At most, 10% of these allegations are made up. When
So
you
what,
compound that into
2.5?
26 separate people with no connection to each other, it's guaranteed he did at least one of these.
At least more like 10.
And when he did at least one, he probably did them all.
Yeah. It's not a fucking far thing to think about here.
Now, because our criminal justice system in this country is so great and sexual assault allegations are unfortunately so hard to prove, he has not been criminally charged with any of this. But the civil cases stood for a while, and eventually I think he's settled out of all of them by now, but it did enough to put the NFL on notice after the Cleveland Browns traded away a lot of draft capital for Deshaun Watson from the Houston Texans and rewarded him with an enormous 5-year, $250 million, fully guaranteed new contract.
Man, that's too much money for anyone to do anything.
Yes! And especially when he's a piece of shit. So
the worst man in the NFL leads the worst team in the NFL.
now here's my little 2 cents. I don't think Deshaun Watson's even all that great to begin with. Even before the allegations came out and Deshaun Watson was throwing a fit because the Houston Texans aren't a good team and I want to be playing for a good team. I was like, you know what?
So
You're not
you go
all
to the
that hot.
fucking Browns?
Because the Houston Texans have surrounded him with some superstar talent like I almost said Deshaun Hopkins.
Oh, yeah, the famous actor.
Hopkins, his famous wide receiver, who's now with Arizona. Wait, did Hopkins go to Arizona? Doesn't matter. J.J. Watt, who is with Arizona for sure. And they never won much with Deshaun Watson. So I'm like, how good could he really be? Like, yeah, he puts up some stats, but he's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I just don't see it. So the Browns pay him all this money. He's a piece of shit. And now he's been suspended for the first 11 games of this season. So the Browns don't even have him for most of this year. He should have been suspended for more, but that's a conversation for a different
He
time.
should have been fucking fired, but anyway.
Yes. He should have been
Should be in
banned
fucking
for
prison.
life, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. NFL's not that nice, unfortunately. With that being said, what else is going on with the Cleveland Browns? Well, they have a pretty good running back in Nick Chubb. Yes, it's a funny name. You can laugh. They they have a pretty good defense. Their coaching up in the air. I don't know. I'm not so sure about Kevin Stefanski yet. He vouched for Deshaun, which already puts him on my shit list. But we'll see. They have to work
This
with
could be the golden year, even though everyone knows it won't be.
I mean, Stefanski was with them during the Baker Mayfield years. They went to the AFC Championship.
running down my pansky.
But yeah, essentially that is the Cleveland Browns. A big shit show, fitting for the name. Their mascot is an elf, and also a dog, and also a helmet. So
Can't even pick a fucking mascot right. Make it the guy from fucking Family Guy who's named after you, for fuck's sake.
Right, exactly.
At this point, what have you got to fucking lose?
I just imagine a big drawing on center field of Cleveland Brown.
With
On
his
their
happy
field.
mustached face.
My name is Cleveland Brown. This team is not that good.
Neither's my own show. Fuck Seth MacFarlane.
Sticking in the AFC North, let's move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. because they have...
Steelers! Why do I keep thinking you're going to say the Penguins?
That is a hockey team.
Right. Fuck you, CM Punk. Made me think of the fucking Pittsburgh Penguins. Pittsburgh Steelers! They're made of steel. These 16 men are made of steel.
This is one of those old teams that you can tell they're old because they're named after a type of industry. But for a long time they've been very,
Imagine
very
that
good.
now. The fucking Pittsburgh Fortnite players.
For a long time they've been very good. Their head coach Mike Tomlin, I think, has never had a losing season, which is just super impressive. They have also, for a long time, had quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, who just retired over this past offseason. He's also a rapist, but we don't have to talk about him.
God damn it, Carmine.
That's the thing about the NFL. There's some pieces of shit that play in the NFL. But there's some good people, too, so that's all right.
We'll
it's okay.
talk more about those guys than any others.
Well, one of them is Mitch Trubisky, the titty kisser.
What?
He's their current starting quarterback to replace Ben Roethlisberger. Mitch Trubisky was drafted by the Chicago Bears in the same draft class as Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. Second overall. And most people would say that was a bad idea. Mitch Trubisky's fine, but he's not that good.
But he's
There's
a
a
titty
reason.
kisser.
There's a reason he's no longer still playing with the Bears. People call him the titty kisser because, as people often do, they dig through people's Twitters. And they dug through his, and in high school, he tweeted something about, man, I love kissing titties. And people are like,
Who doesn't, man? Who
Fuck
doesn't?
yeah,
That's
Mitch
a guy I can get
Trubisky.
behind. Fuck yeah, titty kisser.
so people
I
have
just love kissing titties consensually.
people have lovingly referred to Mitch Trubisky as the titty kisser ever since.
Does he kiss a lot of titties when he's on the field?
luckily,
your titties.
luckily, no. But
Well, as long as it's consensual.
sure. So Mitch Trubisky is their current starting quarterback. Behind them, they have rookie Kenny Pickens.
Well,
no,
they sure
Pickett,
know how to
Pickett,
pick 'em.
Pickett, not Pickens. Pickens was a receiver that they drafted. They somehow in the same draft class took a quarterback named Pickett and a receiver named Pickens. I feel like that's setting them up for bad luck, but either way.
They know how to pick 'em.
Yes. And I think they also have Mason Rudolph, the man who famously almost got killed by Cleveland Browns defensive lineman Myles Garrett in an on-field incident where they got into a scuffle, and Myles Garrett took Mason Rudolph's helmet off his head and then swung it at his unprotected head.
Jesus fucking Christ, what was that, prison rules? What the fuck was that? What happened there? Did he say that Ray was best waifu? What the fuck happened?
People started a rumor that Mason Rudolph said the N-word to Myles Garrett, but the NFL has the NFL has microphones that they point at the field. If that was true, I feel like we would have known by now. And it was a couple years
He
ago.
mouthed it. He mouthed it. It's a lip read, buddy. Lip reading.
There's no evidence that Mason Rudolph did that, but fucking something happened and Myles Garrett swung a helmet at his head. Luckily,
Keep my
he's still
wife's
alive.
name out of your fucking mouth.
Luckily, Mason Rudolph's still alive. Unfortunately for the Steelers, he's not very good at playing quarterback. But they do have Mitch Trubisky, who's better at it. And Kenny Pickett might end up being good. I have no fucking idea. They have the most expensive defense in the NFL. And it shows. They're really good. They also have the cheapest offense in the NFL. And it shows. They're less
Ironic,
good.
really, that the Steelers have incredible defense, but not much in the way of offense.
I think it was the 70s or the 80s when the Steelers had like a historically great defense and it was nicknamed the Steel Curtain. So that tracks.
Nice. It's like the Iron Curtain, but it's not the Pittsburgh Iron Men.
the Pittsburgh Ironers.
I mean, I don't want to be ironed in Pittsburgh. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Get you
Luckily,
a tire iron.
luckily they're the Steelers and you'll be steeled instead?
They're stealing my heart.
Oh, shit.
You
I
can already
mentioned
tell
the
this is
Cleveland
going to be a
Browns.
majority of my input for this episode is making fun of names and making puns, so...
Yeah. I didn't mention that the Cleveland Browns won their first game. It was against a bad team. It was against a bad team in the Carolina Panthers, who we'll talk about later.
Oh,
But-
so many teams.
Yeah, so take that with a grain of salt. They might still be bad. The Steelers won their first game as well, which is just shocking because nobody believes in that offense. I don't even think their coach does. They won against our next team that we're going to talk about, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Is everyone on the team named Ben?
No, none of them are, to my knowledge.
The fuck are we doing then?
A Bengal is like a tiger.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of animals in this NFL.
Yes, somebody actually did a breakdown of like NFL mascots and like how many of them are animals, how many of them are like objects or mythical creatures. The Cincinnati Bengals last season were in the Super Bowl. They didn't win.
Oh. Well, they're already one of the best then.
They lost to the Los Angeles Rams, but they were pretty fucking good. Led by young quarterback Joe Burrow. And
he's going to burrow his way underneath the field and take the ball there. It's fucking genius.
He's actually a mole.
Hey, has anyone ever tried that? You don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's not allowed.
Why? Why is it not possible?
Why not?
Just burrow down underneath the fucking ground. You can't get tackled underground.
I suppose not.
But then you just have to worry about the other moles that play football.
Yeah, led by Joe Burrow, rookie wide receiver Jamar Chase.
That's good. He gives good chase.
The people try to chase him when he gets the ball before he gets the touchdown, and they don't do it good because he got a lot of touchdowns.
People listen to this show for good quality humor.
Yep, that's it. That's what this is. Joe Mixon, the running back.
Mixing it up.
Yes. The worst offensive line in the league, and somehow they still made it to the Super Bowl. And
how did that happen then?
Because Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are still really good.
Because they burrowed underneath the field.
And I don't know many people on their defense other than Trey Hendrickson, who was pretty good. But I do know their kicker, Evan McPherson, otherwise known as Shooter! The rookie kicker was so fucking good that he hit 100% of his kicks in the playoffs last year. That is
fuck yeah, dude.
Crazy. I love Shooter.
Shooter!
And
we should explain why we're going Shooter.
Oh, yeah. There's literally just a TikTok going around of, well, it went around last season, of Evan McPherson making a kick, and then afterwards a bunch of his teammates came up to him and went, Shooter!
Just doing like little finger guns in the air.
One guy came up to him first and did it, and then afterwards 3 more guys came up and did it in unison, and it was one of the weirdest looking moments I've ever seen in my life.
It won me over, honestly. I love Shooter.
Shooter's the best.
McPherson, he strikes fear into the hearts of your sons.
Yep, and he looks like a 12-year-old, because most kickers
do. A lot of them do. A lot of them fucking do.
I don't know why.
There's always the kicker. They look like fucking Stifler from American Pie.
Either that, or they look like Sebastian Janikowski, who's like a 40-year-old fat man.
You gotta have a mix of both. You get the best of both worlds.
So over the offseason, everybody said the same thing. The Bengals will be the best team in the league if they fix the offensive line. So what did they do? They fucking fixed it. They added a bunch of really talented players to that offensive line. So everybody in unison said the Bengals are going to be the best team in the NFL. And then week 1, they lost to the Steelers. And not only did they lose, they looked terrible. I don't know what the fuck happened. Joe Burrow threw
it was
like...
just an off week. It's just fine. We all get off weeks, don't we?
It must have been, because Joe Burrow threw like 3 interceptions. Like, nobody was getting open. The offensive line still looked like shit. The defense couldn't stop anything. It was ridiculous.
Now you gotta remember who we're talking to here. What is an interception?
So when a quarterback throws a pass to one of his teammates, it's supposed to end up in the hands of a teammate. If it ends up in the hand of a different player on the other team, that's called an interception.
I find it weird that they mark the quarterback off of that when really it's not really their fault.
Sometimes it is.
It's just
Most
a mark
of the time
of a good defense, surely.
Well, because there's a lot to do with decision making and reading the defense and telling if something's truly
if you
open
throw
or not.
it with the intent of them not getting it, but then they happen to get it, That's just a mark of a good defense.
Sometimes.
You
Sometimes
can
a
plan for them
quarterback...
to not fucking get it, but if they do get it, then, well, okay.
Imagine there's a line between the quarterback and the receiver. A defense's job is to get in between that line and disrupt the lane of the pass.
By jumping up really high and stretching their arms out like Michael Jordan.
If the defender's already disrupting that line and is standing between you and the receiver, you shouldn't throw that pass.
Just tackle the receiver. Cut off all available avenues.
That's a penalty. But
why is that a pet? That's how you play. That's how it works.
Well, if you tackle them before a ball ends up in their hands, yes, that's a penalty.
What do you mean you can't just tackle people whenever you want?
You can only tackle the person that has the football.
That's stupid. Should have grievous bodily harm at all times.
Yeah, I remember first explaining a lot of these rules to you, and it was just like, but why not, you stupid bastard?
Right? I mean, it's worth asking the question, because then you get avenues like this, where it's just everyone punching each other on the field.
Yeah, it just turns
because
into a
they
giant
can.
11-on-11 street fight.
While Joe Burrow burrows underneath the field. That's how he wins. That's how he works it. Everyone distracts, they get into fist fights, and he just burrows underneath all of them.
That's his special ability.
Right, that's his stand. That's his quirk. That's his Naruto.
That's his ninja way.
Right, that's whatever they have in Bleach.
That's his Bankai.
Right, we have to relate it back to anime with all of this.
Yes.
Where were we? Bengals. What's their mascot? Is it a Bengal?
Yeah, it's a tiger.
Okay, good. At least we're sticking with that. At least we're good with that.
Their logo is just the capital letter B with tiger stripes on it.
Oh, it's better than the fucking Bears.
Yeah. There's some bad logos in the NFL. Cleveland
We should
Browns.
do like a tier ranking of the fucking logos.
That'd be fun, actually. The Browns are the worst one. It's just a fucking orange helmet.
No, I still think the Chicago Bears is the worst because it's literally just the letter C.
But at least that's like, yeah, it's C for Chicago. Like, I get it.
But fucking your Bears, bear, get a bear, do the bear. You're putting in barely any effort.
They have an alternate logo that is a bear face.
Use that.
I don't know why they don't, to be honest.
Exactly.
Anyway, so the Bengals, they're probably going to be fine, but that was a rough first week, man. Shooter, man. Save them.
Shoot them and save them.
And the last team in the AFC North is the Baltimore Ravens. There's not much to complain about when it comes to the Ravens. They're pretty good. Last season, all of their players were dead. This season, they're alive again. They're going to be good.
What do you mean they were dead?
So many people on the Ravens got hurt last season. A bunch of their defensive players got hurt. I think like their entire cornerback room was injured. A bunch of their running backs were hurt. And their offense runs literally through the running backs. Like, it is a run-first offense as opposed to most of the NFL, which is pass-first. So not having your running backs, it was a big problem. They had a rough year last year. They didn't make the playoffs. This year, everybody's healthy. So far, so good. They won week one.
Comeback kid story. Let's go.
They won week one against the Jets, which that's not saying a lot because it's the Jets, but still they won better than nothing. Their quarterback,
the flying type versus the water type doesn't mean anything. Jets of water.
It's jets like an airplane.
There you go. That explains why they didn't do as good. Birds versus planes.
But the Ravens
Who wins that? Clearly birds.
They got themselves into the engine and blew the plane up.
They don't fly like they don't breathe, you know?
Sure. Their quarterback, Lamar Jackson, one of the fucking hottest commodities in the NFL, the youngest NFL MVP ever.
The youngest MVP?
Yep.
My God, what does that mean?
It means that the year he won MVP, which means he was fucking incredible that year, he was the youngest player to ever do it.
Well, how old was he?
I think 23?
Oh, nobody likes him.
Oddly enough, there is a big contingent of people that don't believe in Lamar Jackson. Why is that, you ask? Because some people think He's just a running back that occasionally throws the football. He does run a lot, but he's a good passer. And there's people that just refuse to say that for some reason. They think, no, he has to be bad at throwing because that's what I think. Guess what, bud? That's not true. So, like, suck my nuts.
That sounds like you're projecting onto me here for some of the things I've said.
You've never said shit about Lamar Jackson. I'm talking about Reddit.
No, I just mean, like, in life, I'm always like, this thing is bad because I say so.
Oh. No, it's just
I know,
there's people who have
I don't
held
want
on
to
to
suck your nuts.
There's people who have held on to that bias since Lamar was drafted like 4 years ago.
You know what they should do? They should apologize to his mother. Start there.
They should. I agree. They should.
Because he's for real.
Yes. He's 4 eels in a trench coat.
Yes. All right,
So-
Lamar Jackson, quarterback of the Ravens. Does he go, "Caw"?
He does not.
Well, then what the fuck are we doing? Is that not their battle cry? They're not just on the field going, "Caw, caw"?
No, because you know what? The Eagles pinched that.
They're not, but the Eagles, they don't make that noise.
I agree. It is stupid.
Why are they going caw like a raven? Or the ravens, what do the ravens go? Meow?
Yeah.
Like the Bengals should fucking do? Wow, what the fuck?
Yeah, Lamar Jackson he was in the middle of negotiating for an enormous new contract, but he decided to cut off negotiations once the season started. So we'll see what happens with that once this season is over. But that guy's gonna get fucking paid.
I hope the Ravens, they're my pick to win.
You know what? The better the Ravens do, the happier I am, because that just proves everybody more and more wrong about Lamar. And I like Lamar.
That's the story of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. Lamar, we like you.
So we started with the AFC North. We're now done with them. Let's move clockwise to the AFC East. And we'll start with the best team in the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills. Dear God, why is this team named after a serial killer?
I don't know. That's a good question.
No, to be fair, I think what was it? The serial killer was named after a folklore hero. Who is Buffalo Bill? That's what we should really be asking here.
You know what? I've never even...
Because in my mind, I know him as the fucking killer from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, no, yeah. The team definitely came first.
Buffalo Bill was an American soldier, bison hunter, and showman.
Oh, there you go.
Lived in the 1800s. Real name, William Cody.
Oh.
He's a cowboy, basically. He's an old West dude.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, okay, Buffalo Bills. They're cowboys, I'm guessing.
Well, their mascot is a buffalo.
Fucking... Okay. Yeah. You know what? That's fair. Could have been an old man in the funny hat. Like the pilgrim hat. But no, okay.
Do they have like a on-field mascot? Because that's the thing. When I say mascot, I mean like their logo, because not every NFL team has like a guy in a costume mascot.
I should hope not for some of these teams.
Yeah, the Jets certainly don't have one. I don't know if the Buffalo Bills have one, but yeah, they're very good, which is funny because for a long time they were very bad. Like they were almost Cleveland Browns level, like a joke of a team. And then a few years ago, they drafted a guy named Josh Allen. And
Josh Allen, one of the most normal fucking names.
Right? Like, just, this is a white guy name. When they drafted Josh Allen, everybody pointed and laughed at them because in college, Josh Allen was not particularly good. And they drafted him very high. It seemed like the worst idea that they could have possibly had. And then somehow they turned Josh Allen, the guy who couldn't hit the fucking broadside of a barn in college, into one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's fucking incredible.
He's one of the best.
He's top 5
well on the team, though. You say the team used to be pretty shit. Is he just the one-man savior of the Bills?
Well, they did get a new coaching staff like right before they drafted him. Now that they have him, like they have something to work with. Because good coaching can only take you so far. You still need talented players. So they got Josh Allen. They got him a receiver in Stephon Diggs.
Stefan Diggs, my man. Yes.
The catalyst of the Minneapolis Miracle, which we can talk about later, maybe.
Oh, we will.
They got him a fucking good defense, and Josh Allen's just a fucking beast. He almost is a one-man show, because similar to Lamar Jackson, he can also run, and he's a fucking tank of a man.
Quarterbacks don't necessarily run, though.
No, most of the time they don't. Their real job is to just throw the ball, but this guy can fucking run through people and jump over people. He's crazy.
He's a buffalo.
And then when he throws, he's really good at it.
Okay.
He's just annoyingly unstoppable.
Annoyingly so.
Like, if you're in the AFC East, you admire and hate Josh Allen.
Something I love about the Bills is their color scheme.
Yeah, that blue and red is really good. They got like
It's
a
not.
nice...
It's not only that. It's blue, red, and white. You know what else has that color?
Several things.
Pepsi.
Oh, okay.
Look at their outfits, and I'm reminded of Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man.
Imagine a team of Pepsi Men.
That would suck.
No, it wouldn't. It would be incredible. What shit are my ideas for?
No,
Where's
because
Pepsi
they would
from?
just run in straight lines and get hit by giant fucking rolling cans of Pepsi.
Yeah, and then you'd have to restart the whole fucking level. Where's Pepsi from? I want to. What team? Where did the Pepsi Men come from?
Yeah, what are they named after?
Coke. Oh God.
Josh Allen's really good. The Buffalo Bills are really good. They didn't do much in the way of off-season moves. I think they added some people, got rid of some dead weight. They're just better. They're just fucking really good. And in the opening week, they destroyed the Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. Like, it wasn't even fucking close.
So Buffaloes versus, I'm guessing, goats, Rams.
Yes, Rams.
No wonder the Buffaloes won. They're bigger animals, therefore better.
That's how it works. That is always how it works.
But no, Buffalo Bills. Okay, so they're on track to being the best team in the conference then.
In the NFL.
In the entire fucking scope.
Like, they're just unstoppable.
Fuck yeah, we love it. Buffaloes, run, go.
They'll lose a couple games because every team eventually does.
No, fuck it, undefeated. Undefeated.
We'll see. Maybe.
Can a team go undefeated in a league?
One time.
It's only happened once.
Yes.
Was it the Patriots?
If we're considering the regular season and all the way to the Super Bowl, it's only happened once.
Was it the Patriots?
It was the Dolphins.
The Dolphins?
The Miami Dolphins back in like the 70s.
Oh, that makes sense then. If it's it was like 50 years ago, yeah, fine.
I think there was
Sure.
only 14 games in the regular season at that time,
Oh my god, that's so little.
compared to the now 17.
My god.
And then if we're talking about regular season, the Patriots did it in 2007, but they
There you
did
go.
not win the Super Bowl that year.
What a load of shit.
The Giants did.
That's the last time the Giants were good.
They won it 4 years later, and then never again.
I don't actually know these things.
Um,
You are my source of information. You are the well.
Speaking of the Patriots, might as well talk about them next, because they're also in the AFC East.
Patriots! They're probably just, from my perspective as an outsider, they're like the team.
They were.
They were.
Head coach Bill Belichick, the best coach ever. Ever. Ever.
Quarterback Peyton Manning.
Nope.
Nope. Which one?
They had Tom Brady
Tom Brady, that was it.
until 2 years ago.
Well, Tom Brady is widely regarded as one of the best of all time, right?
The best at this point, probably.
Right.
Like I when it comes to quarterback, the best.
We each have opinions. He's no Patrick Mahomes.
That is true. He is not
He's no
Patrick
Blake
Mahomes.
Bortles.
He is not.
You know.
But Tom Brady's no longer on that team.
Yeah, what's he doing?
Now he's with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's right, yeah. So the Patriots are without their "Oh Captain, my Captain." What happens?
They're not as good.
I wonder why. I wonder fucking why that is.
the first year without Tom Brady, they got a guy named Cam Newton, who used to be really good, and then his shoulder disintegrated. So that didn't work out so well.
Oh, God, he got ejected into the stratosphere.
Yeah, that didn't work out so well. So then they drafted rookie quarterback Mac Jones. Full name, something McCorkle Jones.
I'd rather call him Mac, honestly.
Yeah, most people would. And in his rookie year, Mac Jones seemed promising. And then week 1 of this year, just a shit show. Just not good. Just the whole
It's
thing.
the return of the Mac.
Yeah, the Mac did return. And
Return of the Mac.
and just
I'll be back.
shit the bed.
I shit the bed. Ain't got no head.
The Patriots will probably be fine as long as Bill Belichick is coach. But
Well, they had a good run.
he's put the offense in the hands of 2 formerly fired head coaches at the same time, and I don't know why.
The New England Patriots are on fire.
The man's getting old. He might be losing his mind a little bit.
Might be getting a little bit out of touch.
We'll see. We'll see if he's really losing it or if it was just a bad day.
It's make or break for the Pats.
But they lost to the Miami Dolphins, our next team.
The Dolphins. I don't think they're that good, are they?
They were not for a very long time.
Right. Okay.
They've been struggling with coaches. They've been struggling with quarterbacks. They've been struggling with their offensive line. It's just been a big mess. Over this past offseason, they got a new head coach, Mike McDaniel. He is an offensive prodigy coming from the Kyle Shanahan tree over in California. None of that means anything to any of you people, and that's fine. Don't worry about it. He is a young guy. Smokes weed every day.
Every day.
He's like the Matt Riddle of the NFL.
Nice.
But he's cool. I like him. And
I really hate their colors.
what? You don't like the fucking
Oh, it's
Like-
so bad. It's such a bad shade.
the like aqua blue and the orange?
Oh, that is not aqua blue. That... if
I
the
guess it's
ocean
like
looked like that, I'd be fucking concerned.
I guess it's like a teal.
Yeah, teal is not... Like, the Jaguars have teal.
Yeah,
This
I
is
guess
like a
Miami
weird
does have a
teal
different shade.
cyan fucking... Like, it's just not good. And the orange on top of that? My god. You got Echo the fucking dolphin on the front there.
They used to have a logo where the dolphin was wearing a football helmet.
That looks so much better. That looks so much better. I'm looking at it right now. That looks so much better. Why did you not keep that? He looks angry. He looks motivated. He's not an ugly shade of fucking green blue.
He looks ready to tackle somebody.
Right. What happened to him? Why did they let him go?
I don't know. But
Yeah, ugly
nowadays,
colors, I'm afraid, so I can't look at him.
nowadays, the Dolphins are not half bad.
I mean, it's good that Florida has at least one good team.
They have 2 good teams, but we'll talk about the other one later.
Oh, they have so many fucking teams, dude.
Yeah, some states have more than one team because like they'll go to different cities.
Some states have 3 teams. Some states have no teams.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Where's Ohio's team?
Cleveland and Cincinnati.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, Ohio. We failed you.
Ohio actually has 2 teams, so
And one of them's the Browns, so really they only have one team.
yeah, at this point. The Miami Dolphins picked up wide receiver Tyreek Hill in the offseason.
Tyreek Hill, my man, yes.
Well, he's a questionable man outside of football, but
Oh, not my man anymore.
on the field, he's pretty fucking good at it.
Well, as long as he's good at it, I guess.
So they gave him as a weapon to their quarterback from Hawaii, Tua
Ruby weapon.
Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa, that's sick.
The, I think, only active left-handed quarterback in the NFL right now.
Wow, you think that'd be more common?
It's extremely uncommon.
Wow.
Like, I can count the number of
Check it out, guys, I got a rare pull. It's a left-handed quarterback.
You know what's funny? Naturally, he's a right-handed person, and his dad just physically abused him until he was able to throw with his left hand.
My god, I feel sorry for him.
When that story came out right before he got drafted, everybody was like, "What?" Like, what do you mean?
As long as he's really good, right?
He's pretty good.
There you go. It's not an entirely sad story.
People are still kind of unsure if he's going to be like the guy in Miami moving forward, but I think he's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And they won their first game against the Patriots, which is cool.
Hey, they beat the Pats. How about that?
Which leads us to our last team in the AFC East, the New York Jets.
The Jets. Oh, love the Jets, baby. Love the Jets. All about the Jets, baby.
You know, it's funny, there is a huge overlap of Jets and Mets fans.
Well, no wonder they get confused. They sound too similar.
And then there's a basketball team in Brooklyn called the Nets. It's real.
There's a tortoise racing league called the Pets.
Then they have a water polo team called the Wets.
And they have members that really like gambling. They have their own little sub-team. It's called the Bets.
Oh, man. So the Jets and their famous chant, Jets, 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 Jets.
That is so fucking creative. Jets. Jets. Oh, fuck me. Is George Jetson their fucking mascot, or is it a plane?
It's a plane.
It's a plane.
You think it's a plane?
Let's look at this.
It's...
No, it's not.
What do you mean?
It's a football.
Oh, they've had different logos, but most of them have been planes.
How fucking unimaginative do you have to fucking be to have, we play in the NFL. What'll be our logo? Fucking football.
It's football.
Oh my god. The original logo was the Titans of New York.
That's used to be the Titans, yes. Back in
Right.
the fucking 50s or whatever.
The 1960 to 62 apparently. Then it was a plane, then it's a football, 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 now it's a football. Oh, yeah. Fuck me. What is wrong with this team? I hate them.
They're not good.
No wonder. If you had a fucking jet as your logo, you might be good.
Also, I just don't like their color scheme.
It's really ugly green.
It's an ugly green with white.
Ugh.
And it's just like...
Why would you ever have that as your color?
Yeah.
Green as a color? What a fucking scandal.
Couldn't be me.
Shut up. So who's the quarterback of the Jets?
Well, it should be a man named Zach Wilson.
Why is this... Why? Why is it should? Why is it not is?
Because he's injured right now.
Oh, what was his name?
Zach Wilson.
Fuck you, Zach Wilson.
He's fine. He's alright. He's not a bad person.
But he's made this situation more complicated.
By being hurt.
By having a bum knee.
He is a second-year quarterback. Still very young. Promising. We'll see if he's actually going to stay good, because a promising rookie season doesn't usually mean all that much. But if he stays on track, the Jets might have their quarterback of the future. And they might, maybe, have their head coach of the future, second-year head coach Robert Saleh, I think is how you pronounce it.
Saleh!
I think the only currently active, maybe even first ever, Arabic head coach in the NFL.
Ah, there you go. It's all about inclusivity.
And then Zach Wilson got hurt. As is
got
the
hit
Jets,
by a plane.
As is the curse of the Jeets.
The Jeets.
There's a famous meme where I think it happened in a real game where, fans will bring a sign or a bunch of signs that spell out something.
Did they have too many E's?
I think they spelled it Jete. And so now the chant that people mock on Reddit is Jete, Jeet.
Jeet, Jeet, Jeet. I love that.
Yeah, then Zach Wilson got hurt, and so did a few others. And now their quarterback is Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. He's okay.
I got nothing. I was trying to rhyme, but I got nothing. I'm sorry. There once was a man named Flacco.
Well, then he gets
Played
sacked and then Wacko...
football on the taco.
Well, if he ever gets sacked, then Wacko Flacco will be on his backo after the sacco, so...
Where'd you get that from? You didn't make that up, did you?
No. It's an old SNL bit about Michael Jackson. Wacko Jacko's on his backo.
Oh, right.
So, I mean, they lost to the Ravens.
Fuck them. Ugly, stupid logo, ugly colors, quarterback's hurt, who gives a fuck?
They drafted some cool players. The Jets always draft some cool players, and then somehow it never works out for them. So...
Well, that's just a bad luck then. You don't want to be drafted by them. If you have any sort of promise, you stay away from the fucking Jeets.
Yeah, you can ask Sam Darnold about that.
Donald. Damn, Donald.
Sam Darnold.
Hey, Donald.
Sam Darnold was drafted number 3 overall a few years ago by the Jets, and then he just sucked. He's
And he
terrible.
died.
And then they cut him before his rookie contract was even done, and they
Fucking
took Zach
yikes,
Wilson.
bro.
They took Zach Wilson. He had a promising rookie season, and now he's injured. So I hope he stays promising. Otherwise, it's Sam Darnold all over again.
Oh, yay. We love Donald, too. Electric Donaloo.
So that is it for the AFC East. And I think before we head south, we should take a little detour into ad break land.
Oh, my God. What's the name of this quarterback? Addy McVertson?
Sorry!
Yeah, that was it exactly.
He sounds like an informed gentleman.
Yeah, he had some good things to say. And now we move on to the AFC South, where your Jacksonville Jaguars live.
Jacksonville Jaguars, baby! Let's get some fucking context behind this team.
So
There is some relevance to the wrestling fan in both of us.
that is true.
Because the Jacksonville Jaguars, based in Jacksonville, Florida, is owned by a man named Shad Khan,
Shad Khan.
whose son's name is Tony Khan,
Tony Khan.
who runs All Elite Wrestling.
AEW.
For all intents and purposes, the second biggest wrestling promotion in America.
I think you can drop the pretense. Yeah, it is the second biggest.
There you go. So, we always have to hear about fucking the Jaguars anyway. I came into AEW knowing more about the Jaguars than other people who didn't know. So,
Yeah.
yeah. My God, I wish you told me they fucking sucked before I became a fan.
I think I did.
I didn't listen. You should have made sure that I listened.
But also the year you got invested was the one year where they were really good.
Oh, okay, great. I know how to pick them.
They were
But
literally good
fuck.
for 1 year.
That's why Bortles had a fucking pop made of him, I imagine.
Yeah, I think so, actually. That was the year they did that famous commercial with John Malkovich.
I'm actually unaware.
I've shown you this.
I've forgotten.
That year, I think it was 2017 in the playoffs, the AFC Championship game was the Jacksonville Jaguars versus
Yes.
the
It was like
Patriots.
him doing the narration and have the dramatic music.
Yeah, if anybody wants to go look up John Malkovich Jaguars Patriots commercial, fucking best NFL commercial I've ever seen.
Pretty fucking good.
they did it
Pretty
to
good
hype
hype
up that-
package.
They did it to hype up that playoff game, and it did its job. And then the
But then-
Jacksonville Jaguars immediately sucked after that year.
It all went to shit.
They lost that game to the Patriots, and they never recovered.
They got rid of Bortles.
Got rid of Bortles. They had
Is Gardner Minshew still a thing?
Gardner Minshew was the quarterback they replaced him with. They didn't believe in him. I think he's okay, but now he's a backup, I think, in Philadelphia.
And then they replaced him with Jeff.
Nope. Nick Foles.
That was it. Some fucking guy. Some dickhead.
Nick Foles, who was famous for winning the Super Bowl for the Eagles in 2017, and then just forgot how to play football again.
I mean, he did his job.
The one time,
did
yeah,
it.
but then he didn't do it for Jacksonville.
Well, fuck it. You've done it once. You don't need to do it again.
So they had to replace him as well with drafted quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is an interesting case because as soon as he got into college, literally his freshman year of college, he won the national championship game for his team, Clemson.
Clemson?
In college football, it's all just the city names. Like
Clemson.
they have team names, but it's just like, yeah, you play for Clemson, you play for Alabama. Like
You are the Clemsons.
I think Clemson's in one of the Carolinas. Immediately, people were like, Trevor Lawrence is going to be the #1 overall draft pick as soon as he is eligible. And they were right. And he was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's had a rough start in the NFL.
God damn it, dude.
Like, you can tell the potential is there. But the Jaguars are so bad that it's hard for him to really get anything going.
Now, what makes them so bad compared to, say, the Browns, who are just the jobbers of the entire NFL?
So the Browns have some talented players on, like, defense and the running backs, and then usually it just comes down to, like, bad, traditionally, historically bad Browns luck, where they still end up losing. The Jacksonville Jaguars have people that are not good at football.
So then why are the Jaguars not the jobbiest team ever?
Because,
or are they like #2 compared to the Browns #1?
Historically, they've had more success than the Browns. In fact, back in like the 90s and early 2000s, they actually had some pretty successful years. They would make it into the playoffs. Then it just slowly, in modern times, just declined. Now they're trying to upswing, and maybe
You can try. You will not be successful.
maybe it'll happen. Maybe, I don't know. It's not looking hot so far this year because they lost.
There's a reason I abandoned the ship, mate. There's a reason. In name, yes, I adore the Jaguars. I like the fact that their logo is cool. It's a fucking jaguar head. Fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Color scheme's good. Uniform's good.
Yeah, it's like black, teal, and gold, which is really nice.
It would be good if they were also good.
And with new
But
head
they're
coach,
not.
with new head coach Doug Peterson, who, speaking of Nick Foles, was also the coach for that Eagles team that won the Super Bowl. It's possible.
I mean, anything's possible.
It's possible. They lost, but it was a close game against the Washington Commanders.
I don't... Commanders.
Yes. We'll get to
a
them.
team?
We'll get to them.
We'll get to them. Okay.
Which I'm thinking maybe we'll have to split this episode, this like lore thing up into 2 episodes because we're already an hour in and we're only halfway through the AFC.
Oh, just go. Let's go. Fucking, what's the next team?
The next team is, let's go with the Indianapolis Colts. The
Indianapolis Colts. The Colts. They're horses.
Yes, that's true.
Is their mascot a horse?
It is a horseshoe.
What the fuck are they doing?
The logo's a horseshoe. I think they do have a costume mascot and it is a
They
horse.
better have a man with a fucking horse head.
I think it, yeah.
I swear to God.
They...
Performance-wise.
Middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack. They
Like-
should be stallions. They should be fucking at the forefront. Why are they fucking in the middle?
They had some historically good years, particularly when Peyton Manning was their quarterback. They won a Super Bowl with him in 2006, I think.
So they're not entirely terrible.
No. And then they had years where they were not great, but not worst. There was one year where they were the worst, and they ended up drafting quarterback Andrew Luck, who made them good again, and then he got injured because they refused to give him an offensive line to protect him. And
Not very lucky, huh?
Ever since then, they've been bouncing around between different quarterbacks. They had Phillip Rivers on his last year in the NFL before he retired. He was okay.
Wow. I mean, it was his last year.
Yeah, he was old. He was okay.
Right.
Not great. Then they had Carson Wentz, who is now no longer on that team. He was with them for 1 season.
So he came and he went.
That tells you what you need to know.
He came and he went.
Carson Wentz is interesting because he has moments where he's really good, and then he has moments where he just will underhand toss the ball right into a defender's face. Just, here you go.
Well, if he wasn't so busy playing in Fallout Boy...
Does he look like a Fallout Boy guy?
Oh, the fucking bassist is Pete Wentz.
Oh.
That's
Yes,
the joke there.
He changes his name to Carson when he wants to play football.
Yeah, he's like Ezekiel.
Yeah. He's the Moon Knight of pop punk and also the NFL.
Right.
And now they have quarterback Matt Ryan, who has spent...
Ryan from Super Mega? For one and the same?
I never expected you to make a Super Mega joke.
That's what I hear when I hear Matt and Ryan. I'm like, oh, Game Grumps, Super Mega, Markiplier, Internet, boxing.
Matt Watson and Ryan McGee from Super Mega?
They play for football.
as
They
a
coach.
fused person?
Matt Ryan. Let's go.
He spent 14 years with the Atlanta Falcons, and then they traded him away in an attempt to get Deshaun Watson. They failed, and now they have nobody. But Matt Ryan plays for the Colts.
I'd rather have nobody than fucking Deshaun Watson.
Ask me if they won or lost their first game.
Did they win or lost their first game?
No.
What? What happened? Did there was a disqualification? Was it an equal contest?
They ended up in the very rare NFL result of a tie.
How does that happen? Just kick the ball.
What?
Just no, a tiebreaker. There's a reason why tiebreakers happen.
So here's how the NFL works when it comes to a tie.
Lord.
If the first 4 quarters of regulation go by and the score is tied, you get overtime. You get 1 quarter's worth of overtime. If somehow at the end of overtime it's still a tie, the game's just a tie.
No, flip a coin. Clearly they're evenly matched.
And the Colts managed to tie their first game with our next team, the Houston Texans.
Fucking worst name in the entire fucking...
It's really bad.
I mean, to be fair, the Browns is probably the worst name. Like,
But even the Cleveland Browns, they're named after a person.
Cleveland Brown from Family Guy.
Mike Brown.
Oh.
I think it's Mike. Yeah.
Mr. Brown. Okay,
The
Mr. Texans.
The Texans are just named after their state.
Houston, Texas with the Houston Texans.
Who lives in
Tex
Texas?
ball.
The Texans. That's us.
Do they suck?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder why. Get a better name.
You know, it's funny. The Houston football team used to be the Oilers.
Because they are full of oil barons.
Yeah.
Right.
Look up the Houston Oilers uniform. I liked their color scheme and their logo.
I'm looking at the Texans now, and it's okay. The blue's a bit too dark for me. Might as well be black if you're going to be that dark of a blue.
Yeah, it's a weird dark blue with the red. I don't like it.
Now, the Houston Oilers. That is good.
That is good shit.
That is good blue. That is good white. That is good red.
And the logo is better.
It was an oil tower.
Yep.
What the fuck happened? Why are they not the Oilers anymore?
Because the Houston Oilers moved to Tennessee and became the Titans.
The Titans!
And then Houston
The
was like,
Titans!
and then Houston was like, but what, we don't have a team now. Let's make a new one. They're called the Texans.
ourselves the Texans.
And
Yeehaw.
they're just even with Deshaun Watson, they were never a serious threat. And
I wonder why.
Without him, they've been bad. Now they have a new quarterback, Davis Mills, who was drafted late in the draft last year. Nobody had much expectations for him, and he overperformed expectations by a lot. He's still not the best, and it shows in the fact that
worst.
It shows in the fact that they tied their first game.
Well, there you go. It's only upwards from here, by definition.
No, they could lose.
Well, it's only downwards from here, also, by definition. Go either way.
Yeah, the Texans are... I don't know what to make of them right now. New head coach, Lovie Smith.
Lovey! I love him, Lovey!
Old man.
No.
Nobody really expects him to turn this into a perennial Super Bowl team.
Give Lovey a chance.
He's had chances.
Well, then fuck it. They're just gonna be a bad team. I don't know what to tell you.
I think he used to be the head coach for the Bears a long time ago, and that did not go well.
The Bill Burrs.
The Bill Burrs.
I'd love that. The Bills and the Bears and everything in between. So that's for South.
No, we still have to do the Titans.
Titans! Titans!
Whoop! The Titans.
What is going on?
Last season, they were the number 1 team in the AFC. They
Whoa,
ended the regular
they didn't go to the
season-
bowl, though.
They ended the regular season with the best record in the AFC. Then they lost immediately in the playoffs.
Fuck.
Which is sort of like their track record the last few years. Really good regular season, then they can't do it in the playoffs. Like, they just
Oh,
can't.
the choke artists.
Yeah.
Wow.
With
That's relatable.
head coach Mike Vrabel.
Vrabel?
Vrabel. Vrabel.
Vrabel. Sounds like an anime villain.
He's a fucking tank of a man. He looks like an anime villain.
Nice.
He
He's
used
in
to be a
One Piece.
linebacker.
See, I love it when former players become coaches because they know what they're doing.
Sometimes.
Do
Not
these
all the
guys know
time.
what they're doing?
Vrabel seems like a good coach. It's just, I don't know what's going on with the playoffs.
I mean, the colors are good.
Yeah.
I like the logo. I mean, it's good. It's unique. It's got
It
like
is
the flag
unique.
of Tennessee there with a cute little T in there, and it's on fire. The flames are like blue and red. It's pretty cool looking.
People jokingly call them the thumbtacks.
Oh my god, it looks like a thumbtack. What the fuck? What in the fuck?
Did it just ruin it for you?
No, it didn't ruin it for me. I'm just like, yeah, you know what? That makes sense.
I think they have an alternate logo where it's like a sword.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
But then
I
why
don't-
is it with fucking South Conference and these fucking blues?
Yeah, I don't like their colors.
No, they're really not that good.
It's like just the 2 different shades of blue.
Yeah. Get some red in there. It's in the
There's like
logo.
and there's like a silver. Silver?
John Silver.
I'm losing my voice with this episode.
Wow. Okay, so that's Tennessee Titans middle of the road.
They're a better team. They're a
They
top
could
half.
they're like the mid card, upper mid card, you know?
Upper mid card's that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. They're gatekeepers of the upper level.
They have quarterback Ryan Tannehill, who has finally broken out. He used to play for the Dolphins, and every year people would say, "Oh man, Ryan Tannehill could be so good. He just needs to break out. He just needs to break
He's
out."
gonna win
and
the
then
world
Dolphins
title.
got rid of him,
Oh, fuck it. Well,
and then the Titans picked him up, and then
he's
he
gonna
broke
be a
out.
Titan.
And then he broke out. He got way better with the Titans, and he's not the best quarterback in the NFL, but he's pretty good. I would take him. Their
You'd take him in a
best-
fight.
Their best attribute on offense is their running back.
Mm.
You want to talk about Titans?
Mm.
Talk
It's
about
Raina Braun.
King Derrick Henry.
King Derrick Henry.
Well, people call him King Henry, but
King Henry
Derrick Henry
the
is
ninth.
the largest running back in the NFL.
What's his stats? What's he, big beefy boy? What is
That's
he?
a good question. Off the top
Let's
of my
have
head,
a
I don't
look.
know.
Derrick Henry. Oh, it's spelled wrong, but okay. He's big.
He's
Holy
very-
shit. He's massive.
He's very big.
He's 28 as well. That just puts it in a fucking perspective. Holy shit.
Imagine being our age and that size.
How tall is Jotaro? Let's see.
Yeah, get his
Okay.
measurements.
So Jotaro is 195 centimeters.
What is that?
Oh, sorry. 6'5".
Okay, Derrick Henry's 6'3".
He's still pretty fucking big, beefy boy.
How much does Jotaro weigh?
Oh, I wish we knew.
Because Derrick Henry weighs 247 pounds and it's all muscle.
Okay, Jotaro weighs 181.
Whoa.
Let's use Jotaro as like the measuring stick of any impressive specimens here, because that's a pretty good fucking ground to base ourselves on.
I didn't expect Jotaro to be that light.
I mean, he's good at punching.
But yeah, Derrick Henry,
He's
Just
also 18.
just a fucking tank. The dude's
He's a titan.
he literally is a
He
titan.
runs and he goes back.
And he does this fucking freaky thing when he's running. Like, people have gotten screenshots of it where, like, his eyes just go super fucking wide and he's terrifying.
Oh my god.
That is
Literally like
just-
the Armored Titan when he ran through the wall.
Yup.
I hope he runs through the wall this season.
Well, here's the thing about the Titans. They lost their first game.
Well, they've got other chances to win.
Who does a Titan lose to, do you think?
A dolphin.
A giant.
Oh, the New York Giants! This is your team!
Somehow, my little underdog team of the Giants beat the fucking Titans.
How good does it feel? How does it feel?
I'll put it this way. The Giants have not won their opening game in like 5 years.
It's been pretty rough.
They have also not had a winning record at any point in the season for about 5 years.
My god.
Now we do.
I mean, you're so used to sucking shit, now it's your year.
Don't jinx it.
No, it's gonna be fine. Who's your quarterback?
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones and me.
Danny
play
Dimes.
some football.
Danny Dimes throwing dimes.
0 dimes.
We'll get to him later. I think that is it for the AFC South, which means we have one AFC team left. And we must go westward.
Go west.
I thought you were going to keep going.
No, we're west now. We're at the west. We made it.
The AFC West might just be the most stacked division in the NFL this year. And yes, I'm saying that knowing the result of Monday Night Football Week 1. I still think this is going to be true. We are going to start with your boys, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs!
How about them Chiefs?
How about them Chiefs?
Led by burger-loving big boy head coach Andy Reid.
Yeah, boy.
The Red Walrus.
Uh-huh.
The Chiefs. It's
Big
either
red
them
and
or
the ketchup, boy.
It's either them or the Bills. They're gonna be one of the two best teams in the NFL.
Let's go with the Chiefs, man.
It's a
How about him?
red
How
versus
about 'em?
blue.
How about him? How about him, Chiefs, huh?
I would not be surprised if the AFC Championship game this year is red versus blue, Bills versus the Chiefs. Like,
Well, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, like, what was it, 2 years ago?
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
here's
That was a good year for me.
going back to Patrick Mahomes. We were talking about him earlier.
The high-flying Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes.
Drafted in 2017, Patrick Mahomes did not play much in his first year. They let him sit behind the quarterback at the time, Alex Smith. And that was the expected thing. Coming out of college, Patrick Mahomes was seen as he could be really good, but his mechanics aren't great. Let him learn a little bit before throwing him into the fire. And it worked because his first game came at the end of that season. Alex Smith got hurt. They put Patrick Mahomes in, and it was like, oh, I think this kid knows how to play. I guess we'll see what he does next year. Guess what he did next year, Brooks?
Fucking Super Bowl, baby.
No, not the Super Bowl. They didn't make it to
Oh,
the Super Bowl
fuck
that
it.
year. But Patrick Mahomes threw 50 touchdowns and won league MVP.
Yeah, he did.
Fucking nuts.
He is the best.
He's incredible. And then the next year, they won the Super Bowl.
There you go. This is it. We're on a winning fucking team now, ladies and gentlemen.
They made it to the AFC Championship again last year. They lost to the Bengals, unfortunately, but they are going to be good again. It's
Let's
just
make Kansas City. I hate the team name. That's the only thing I'll say.
the Chiefs.
Missouri Chiefs. Come on. Why are you confusing me, someone who doesn't live in America, making me think they're from Kansas?
Because Kansas City is weird geographically, where technically half of it is in Missouri and half of it's in Kansas.
Right. Pick one.
I think the place where the Chiefs play within Kansas City is on the Missouri side.
Yeah, it says on Wikipedia they are based in Kansas City, Missouri.
So it's a weird
No, that
thing.
confused me for fucking ever. I was like, oh, look at that, Kansas. And you're like, no. And I'm like, well, fuck. I don't know shit. I don't know geography. I don't know anything. I just know the team names. The logo's a little bit, but you know, can't win them all. Can't be good at everything, otherwise it wouldn't be fun.
Look, using Native American imagery in your sports team stuff is not new. It's not great. Is
it Native American?
That's what the Chiefs are supposed to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, why weren't they renamed?
The logo's an arrowhead.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I thought it was a fish. Is it
Why
really
did
an
you
arrowhead?
think it was a fish?
I thought it was a fish. Look at that. That's a fish.
It's not a fish.
No, it looks like a fish, mate.
Why would it be a fish?
Hey, it's not, there's no fucking logic. Why is the Jets not a fucking plane? Why is the Kansas City Chiefs not fucking anything from Kansas? Why is it an arrowhead? Why is it not a fish? It looks like a fish. Looks like Gil from Finding Nemo.
I guess so.
Fuck off. Alright? I thought it was a fish. Fuck me then. Okay. It's a really shitty looking arrowhead. Why is it all wavy and curly like a fish?
It's like chiseled out of stone.
Oh, chiseled from pure granite.
Well.
Wow. Nah. Give the logo a bit of a redesign. Change the name. Call them the Missouri Power Loaders for all I care. That'd be fucking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a team, one of the best.
And they won their first game by a lot.
Of course they did.
They beat the Arizona Cardinals, who are also expected to be a good team, 44-21.
Fuck.
It's big score time when it comes to Patrick Mahomes.
Big Galaxy score time.
Patrick Mahomes threw 5 touchdowns.
Fuck yeah, he did.
Like
Doing
already.
his job right.
He has 16 more games to go, and he threw 5 touchdowns.
Let's make it 284. Let's make it 385 passing yards. Let's make it 28-0 minus 5 interceptions.
They also have the best tight end in the NFL, and Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce, my boy.
They have an improving defense. The year that Patrick Mahomes won MVP, but they didn't win the Super Bowl, the reason was because their defense was terrible.
Well, now that's changed.
It has. It is constantly improving a little bit at a time every year, and just, it's not fair. It's not.
I mean, I think it's pretty fair. I think it's pretty good, if you ask me. I ain't complaining.
Over the offseason, they lost star receiver Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins, and it looks like that's not going to matter at all.
Unstoppable juggernauts. Who
Just-
stands in their way?
They replaced him with a couple different players, like Montez Valdez-Scantling, I believe. is
Montez
his
Valdez.
name. Also, Juju Smith-Schuster.
That's some good juju right there.
Sky Moore.
No, less.
Skyless. Good joke.
Thank you.
The Chiefs are just fucking insane. Oh, they have
Chiefs are
running back.
good.
Speaking of 3 named people, they have running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
That's hilarious. It's pretty fucking hilarious.
It's so funny. It's good. His name is Joke. I think that's it for the Chiefs. They're gonna be
Okay.
good.
What's next?
Next, let's do the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, fuck the Raiders, man.
The Raiders.
I fucking hate the Raiders only because they have lucrative merchandise, apparently. Because in this
What?
fucking country, you remember Primark?
Oh,
When you
yeah.
visited here, we went to Primark, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, they have fucking certain deals with, like, some teams. Not all of the teams. Not the Chiefs. Because if it was the Chiefs, I would have fucking bought something. Not the Jaguars. If it was the Jaguars, I would have bought something. That's the fucking Raiders. All the fucking t-shirts that they have, all the fucking team merch they have is for the fucking Raiders.
A divisional rival.
It's fucking bullshit.
Here's
It's because aesthetically, like, the logo and the colors and everything are, like, black and silver, right? It's fucking cool looking.
oh yeah.
And, like, the actual logo is, like, it's like a shield with... I don't know what the fuck's going on. Why is it a man with an eye patch and a football helmet with 2 swords? What's going on there?
It's sort of like a raider, like in the sense of almost like a pirate.
But he's wearing a football helmet.
Well, yeah, because the Raiders play football.
Yeah, but he's got an eye patch.
Because he's also a pirate.
No, pick one.
He's both.
No.
The Jet is also a football.
Stupid.
um,
It's a fish.
Can't believe you thought it was a fish.
Fuck off.
So,
Tell me about the Raiders as little words as possible.
here's the thing about the Raiders. Going into this season, they had still have quarterback Derek Carr.
Oh, D. Carr.
His whole career can be surmised as, yeah, he's okay.
I mean, it's alright.
Like, he's had down years, and he's had really fucking good years. And then he's had years right in the middle.
Really dizzying highs, horrible lows, creamy middles.
And people always just say, you know what? If his coach and the rest of his offense was good, he'd probably be really fucking good. So this year, they got him a new coach, Josh McDaniels. I'm going to detour a little bit, because Josh McDaniels is worth talking about.
Why?
Josh McDaniels was the offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. He's part of the reason they were so good for so long, because when you have Tom Brady and a really good offensive coordinator calling the plays, you're gonna win football games.
You're gonna win football.
At some point, back during the Tim Tebow years, Josh McDaniels got a shot to be a head coach for the Denver Broncos. It went horribly.
Oh no.
He turned into an egomaniac, just tanked that team, took Tim Tebow as a quarterback in the draft for no good reason. Here's a spoiler, Tim Tebow was never a good quarterback.
Oh no.
And he was quickly fired.
Haha.
He was brought back to New England to be an offensive coordinator again, was still very good at that. And then the Indianapolis Colts, a few years ago, said, hey, you've had some time to learn from your mistakes. Do you want to come be our head coach? And Josh McDaniels said, yes, let me go over there and hire a bunch of staff and move everybody to Indianapolis in preparation for this. And then they said, cool. And then Josh McDaniels said, actually, you know what? Never mind. Bye.
What? Why?
He just dipped right before
Why did he
signing the
bail?
contract.
Why did he ghost him? What happened?
No one knows.
Oh, it was a mystery.
Some people
BuzzFeed,
suspect.
get on it.
Some people suspect it's because he found out that at that time quarterback Andrew Luck was injured and suddenly decided he didn't want to do it anymore.
It was the hinge on his plan, was Andrew Luck.
But it was a
Was
shit
shit
move
out of it.
because he literally dipped out on the deal at the last minute, and Indianapolis had to scramble to find a new head coach. Luckily, it worked out for them. Frank Reich is pretty good, but still a shit move.
Damn.
Fast forward a few more years. Las Vegas calls. Hey, Josh, are you going to do that shit again? No. You promise? Yes. Do you want to be our head coach? Yes. And so now he's the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, he didn't dip.
He did not dip this time. They have also traded for and then extended star receiver from the Green Bay Packers, Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams, my man. Yes.
Fucking really good receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Ask me if they won their first game.
Fucking goddamn it. Did they tie?
No, they lost.
Oh, what? Why? Thought it
Because
was
their
really good.
opponent was our next team, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Now this is, they used to be somewhere else, right?
San Diego.
San Diego Chargers.
And then they just moved to LA because money.
Fuck it. California needs more teams.
They don't.
Apparently they do.
They had the Oakland Raiders, who are now in Las Vegas. They have the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams had already moved to LA from St. Louis. Now, the Chargers were the fourth team, now back down to 3 because the Raiders moved. Here's the thing, though. They're pretty good.
Are they?
They're pretty good.
Why?
It all comes down to Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert.
The dorkiest name in the NFL.
Where were you? I was Justin Herbert.
Well, get
Where are
out
you
of
now?
him.
I'm Justin Herbert.
That's not very nice. Get out.
No!
Justin Herbert looks like a high school bully character in a teen comedy.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
But he's
No,
extremely wholesome.
I don't know. Who does he look? He's buff, first of all. Holy shit.
He is buff. He is a real-life shonen protagonist. That is what he actually is.
He looks nice.
He's extremely nice.
I get Deku vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna flick the ball with his finger and break his arm.
He's nice. He makes funny little dad jokes. And he's
Jokes?
He's really good at playing football.
Alright, how old is he then? If he's making dad jokes, how old is he?
Well, he makes dad
24! Fuck off! No! How dare you? How fucking dare you be younger than me?
He's very young.
Yeah, all the good ones are, apparently. Fuck.
We are living in an interesting time in the NFL where there is a big influx of extremely talented young quarterbacks.
They were all fucking stallions.
And Justin Herbert, with his long, flowing hair, I would say top 10 quarterbacks.
He's my fave 5.
I don't think he's top 5. I think he's somewhere in the top 10.
He's probably number 6.
Because you got Tom Brady, you got Aaron Rodgers, you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Josh Allen. I don't know who you would
fuck
put at
Aaron Rodgers. Who gives a shit anymore?
At 5, you could go Joe Burrow. You could go Justin Herbert.
I forgot about Burrow. He burrows underneath the field, of course.
There's a lot of good players. Justin Herbert, definitely one of them.
He's
And
one
then
of them.
This offseason, the Chargers were like, hey, we need to make our defense better. Okay, they did that.
They fucking pounded the offense of the other team.
They got pass rusher Khalil Mack from the Bears.
Hey, it's another Mac. Return of the Mac.
They got cornerback J.C. Jackson from the Patriots.
Nice.
It's just, they're really fucking good. And they have an aggressive young head coach. And when I say aggressive,
I
I
feel
mean,
like they're going to be the ones. They're going to be the ones that are going to bring it.
here's the other thing historically about the Chargers. This is always what happens.
What do you mean?
They always have a really good roster. They win a bunch of games. And then sometimes they don't even make it to the playoffs.
Why though?
I don't know.
They have all the setup.
There was a year, I don't know what year it was. There was a year where they had the number 1 ranked offense in the NFL. They also had the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL. They didn't even make the playoffs.
Did they all fucking fall over?
They had the worst special teams in the entire league. While that might not sound like a huge deal, it is.
Damn.
There's always something holding them back. I don't know what it's going to be this year, but it's probably going to be something.
One of the Deku's arm is going to fall off, as we've previously said.
Oh god, if Justin Herbert got injured, that would be the most unfortunate thing.
Well, I've said it. I fucking said it now, haven't I? I've jinxed it. I've let the cat out of the fucking box.
You put it out there into the universe.
So it will indeed happen.
That's how
That's
this
how it
works.
That's how it always works.
And then the last team in our division,
Mm-hmm.
we have the Denver Broncos.
The Denver Broncos.
Broncos country, let's
They're a
ride.
horse.
Yes,
Horse.
yes,
Horse.
yes.
You tell I know shit about this team, it's horse.
Orange horse.
Orange horse. There's a lot of horses in the NFL.
2.
Yeah. It's a lot more than you'd think, but less than you'd hope.
The Denver Broncos, for the last few years, have been a team that they have a really good defense, and then they have some talented people on offense, but they don't have a fucking quarterback.
What?
Well,
How?
not that they don't.
Do they have a fucking robot? Do they have a Pepsi machine with an arm on it? What do they have?
Not that there's literally nobody there. It's that they suck.
What do you mean? What do you mean? There's nobody there?
No, not that there's nobody there.
Oh, right. Okay. If
It's
it's
just
just
that
now
the
that there's
quarterback's-
nobody there. I'm like, well, yes, of course they suck. They don't have a fucking quarterback.
Now, well, let me backtrack. Remember Peyton Manning, I said, from the Colts?
Yeah.
The Colts kind of screwed over Peyton Manning at one point in history, and he eventually went to the Denver Broncos instead.
Hmm.
They won a Super Bowl together.
Nice. He likes to do that. Does
Then-
Peyton Manning?
Then Peyton Manning's neck died, and he had to retire.
Oh God. Couldn't support his 5-head anymore.
No, it's too heavy.
Yeah.
So he had to retire, and now the Denver Broncos are saying, okay, we have to replace Peyton Manning. Easier said than done, but I'm sure we'll be fine. They were
Well,
not.
they weren't because they apparently picked nobody.
They've gone through people like Chad Kelly and Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater with the giant penis?
He does have a giant penis.
Why did that not help him throw the ball?
I don't know, but it didn't.
Fuck.
And needless to say, none of that went anywhere.
But yeah, apparently so. Who's it now? Who's in the hot seat now?
Well, I'll get to that in a second. They also had bad head coaches, like Vic Fangio.
That's a fucking Marvel character.
Vic Fangio is a really good defensive coordinator. He can put together a really good defense. He's not a good head coach at all.
You gotta play to your strengths. You know what you know.
Yes.
Doesn't mean you know everything.
So now they have replaced Vic Fangio with new head coach Nathaniel Hackett.
Can he hack it?
No.
No, he can't.
First of all, his name sounds like a Civil War name.
Well, yeah. What about
Nathaniel
Buffalo Bill earlier?
Hackett.
That's what this shit is.
Who even goes by the full name Nathaniel anymore?
Nam, Nathaniel. Oh, for fuck's sake, nobody. That's the answer to that question. Fucking nobody. You call him Nate and you leave it alone.
As for quarterback, I'm glad you asked.
It's
They-
John Cena.
Yup. No,
That's why nobody can see him.
They made a trade with the Seattle Seahawks for
Mhm.
quarterback Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, the Def Jam guy?
Sure.
No, I'm thinking of Russell Simmons. Sorry.
Oh,
It's a different guy than Russell.
Russell Wilson is really good at playing quarterback.
Is he another young stallion?
He's not so young anymore, but he's not old either. He's like
He's 33, apparently.
Yeah, he's at that nice sweet spot of like he's not a rookie guy anymore, but he's not too old to keep playing. Like he's at a good age. He's still good. He's really good.
He's married to Sierra.
Yes.
What?
You know who that is?
Sierra, yes.
Okay.
Goodies.
All right. I didn't think you'd know that.
Talking about my goodies. Yeah. Of course we know Sierra. Team with Missy Elliott.
Ask me if the Denver Broncos won their first game.
Sorry. Did they win or did they lose?
They lost.
Why? You stupid bastard, why?
I truly don't know.
Again, it's just random fucking flip of a coin shit, it seems like. You either
Because-
have a really good day, or you have a really shit day. Doesn't
Because-
matter, you can have the best team in the entire world. Don't mean shit if it's a bad day.
Because not only did they lose, they lost to a bad Seattle Seahawks team.
Oh, no, it was an upset victory.
Randomly, the Seahawks quarterback who shouldn't be good and has never been good was really good.
I tell you, like clockwork. It's a broken clock, right twice a day.
The Denver Broncos defense, which was supposed to be really good, was really bad.
Quite bad.
Russell Wilson played all right, but the coach made some weird decisions.
Try to borrow underneath the field like the man. Yes.
The score it came down to 1 point. Seattle was up
Singular point?
Seattle was up 17-16.
Fuck. How does that happen?
A missed extra point.
Wow.
Seattle's up by 1. You have less than a minute left, and you have 3 touchdowns. You have the ball.
You stretch your arms out like Michael Jordan.
It comes down to 4th down and 5, which means you have 1 more shot to move the ball. You can either kick a field goal or go for it and try and get the first down. You have Russell Wilson as your quarterback. The field goal is 64 yards away.
That's over half the field, right?
That is over half the field. What do you think they did?
What? Don't go for that then. Try and get first down.
Right. They didn't.
What the fuck then? What? How? How do you expect somebody to kick a ball that far?
Nathaniel Hackett made the brilliant decision. We're going to go for the field goal.
Oh, great.
Now here's a great sequence of stats. Not only
Yeah.
would a 64-yard field goal be the second longest in history,
Oh, fuck, Jesus Christ. Why would you ever think it's a good idea?
nobody in the history of the NFL in Seattle, which is where they were playing,
Oh, great, we got these fucking stats now. And never before in the NFL on a Tuesday at 6 p.m. when the wind was going west and I was commentating,
not that
did
specific.
this happen?
Not that specific.
They do that though, don't they?
Sometimes. Seattle's every city's got different weather, different altitudes affect how kicking works. Kicking can be affected by a lot of things. If you play in a dome, if you play in an outdoor stadium, all sorts of things.
If you play on a plane, if you play in the rain, if you play in Spain.
Something about Seattle makes long field goals particularly difficult because nobody has ever made a field goal in Seattle longer than like 55 yards or something like that.
And this is 64.
64.
Great.
Needless to say, the kicker missed.
Wow. Why would you ever fucking decide to do that?
Nobody knows. Nobody
Do you
knows
have
why
a
he
brain
did that.
fart? Did you just randomly, like, intrusive thoughts take over? Like, oh, you're gonna fucking score the field goal, you can do it. It's impossible, but you can fucking do it.
It's
the
literally never been
time."
done in this kind of situation before, but you got it. Brandon McManus.
He didn't got it. He did not got it at all.
Brandon McManus
It actually
did
worked
not
out
got it.
horribly.
Now, that's not Brandon McManus's fault. That's Nathaniel Hackett's fault. That was a terrible decision.
Can you not just, like, go into business for yourself and ignore what he says?
Everybody on the team would have to unanimously agree to do that.
But surely everyone else thought the same thing. This is bullshit.
Usually when a coach says, you do this now, players just do it.
Wow.
They'll disagree with it, but they'll do it.
Well, land of the free, home of the brave, my fucking tit, right?
Okay.
If you are in that situation, you yourself, what do you do?
I would say, are you sure? That's a bad idea.
Be like, boss, hey, buddy, no.
I don't
Let's
think we
not
should do that. Coach?
That's not a good idea. Did you know that this has never happened before in NFL history on a Wednesday with the biggest opening box office at $2 million held for last weekend?
Nobody's ever literally been able to do what you're asking of me right now.
Fuck it. Do it. Just do it.
And it didn't work.
No shit, it didn't fucking work.
Yeah, there was a press conference after the game, and Nathaniel Hackett...
Anyone hear of Scott Colton?
Nathaniel Hackett had the brilliant line, you know, in hindsight, maybe we should have gone for it.
Oh, wow, really?
In hindsight?
Fuck you, Nate, you dumbass.
Not just in human sight with your brain?
Yeah, couldn't fucking realize this at the fucking time it happened. I think so.
I say
know
this all
shit,
to
and I
say,
could have seen that.
I say this all to say the Broncos might still be good later in the year,
Well,
but
you never count them out.
Nathaniel Hackett also might ruin them.
He might tell you to run backwards just to see what happens.
Try just standing still. See how that works. It might
Try
throw
just
them off.
ignoring the problems and they'll go away.
It might confuse them if you don't move.
Have you ever thrown the ball entirely upwards?
Just straight 90 degrees in the air.
Try that. See what happens.
And then it won't work, and then he'll be like, well, that was 89 degrees. I said 90.
I mean, it was a Wednesday. You know what that means?
There's never a football game on a Wednesday.
Exactly, that's why it didn't work.
They were playing
no
just
game.
against nobody. It wasn't a game.
Yeah. Right. It was all in our heads.
So yeah, that's the Broncos, and that's the AFC West, and that's the AFC.
Oh, fucking hell, no. We can't do any more. We've hit 2 hours.
I know.
We have to do this in a different time.
I know. We have to do another episode of this to cover the NFC, which means we'll probably get another week's worth of football in to talk about, which,
Hey.
hey, why not?
Why not? Football season is upon us. Fuck yeah, baby. I hope the Chiefs win.
I am also rooting for the Chiefs. I don't dislike them.
Hey, good. I'm glad we're on the same page for once.
I'm also rooting for the Bills and the Jaguars and the Giants.
Oh, yeah, there's the Giants. I thought you would say them first.
Well, the
No,
Giants
you're
are my
realistic,
main
you see.
team. Obviously, if it comes down to the Giants or the Chiefs, fuck you. But
No, it's a friendly sport where everyone is friends and nothing bad ever happens.
yeah, that's what happens.
There's nothing
in
bitter about the
Philadelphia.
chatter that occurs.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about Philadelphia.
Oh, we gotta wait until next time. There's a cliffhanger for y'all.
It's going to be interesting. So, yes,
Uh-huh.
that is it for this episode of Bitter Chatter. Thank you for listening. If you want to email us, I didn't even fucking look at the email this week.
Oh no, you got football in your head. There's too much of a football.
It's fine. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Send us an email. We'll talk about it. I promise.
If he fucking remembers.
You can send that email to bitterchatterpodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that's bitterchatterpodcast@gmail.com. We also have socials at bitterchatpod. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter. We post things. Stay up to date with us. You also have a merchandise store. You can go to redbubble.com/people/bitterchatpod. We also have individual socials. Mine are at thatguy_Carmine on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Brooks, how about yours?
Mine is Strayborn on Twitter and TikTok. I want you to unfollow me if you're hearing this. I fucking dare you.
Do it, you won't.
I bet.
And with that, do you want to go play against the Pittsburgh Steelers?
No, they're made of steel. We've been over this. I'm still a big fan of Joe Burrow. Let's borrow underneath the theme music as it fades in. Oh, Burrow.
There he goes. I guess he's a mole man now.
Why aren't you joining me?
I can't dig like that.
Well, fuck you.
That's your fault.
It is. Your shitty fucking hands.
Well, I just have delicate fingernails.
It sound right, boy.